Welcome. Today, we are exploring Charles Spurgeon's sermon titled Consolation, Proportionate to Spiritual Sufferings. This sermon, first preached in 1855, is rooted in 2 Corinthians 1 verse 5. For as the sufferings of Christ abound in us, so our consolation also aboundeth by Christ. The heart of Spurgeon's message is this: just as suffering for Christ is a reality for the believer, so too is a comfort that flows directly from Christ. In fact, the more the trials increase, the more consolation God provides. Spurgeon begins by setting expectations. He warns us that being a follower of Christ does not mean a life free from pain, but rather a life where suffering is to be expected. Just as soldiers know the battlefield comes with hardship, Christians must understand that trials are part of the journey. Christ himself told us to count the cost. To follow him means to endure hardship as a good soldier. This does not mean Christianity is without joy. Quite the opposite. Even in suffering, believers find consolation and joy in the Holy Spirit. It is in times of weakness. Spurgeon reminds us that God's strength is revealed most clearly. Trials may be bitter, but they bear sweet fruit, patience, humility, and a closer walk with Christ. He also makes an important distinction. Not all suffering is the same. If we suffer because of dishonesty, laziness, or sin, that is not the suffering of Christ. But if we endure hardship, ridicule, or persecution for the sake of Christ, then those trials are indeed the sufferings of Christ. And here lies the blessing. To suffer for Christ is to share in his work and to receive his comfort. Spurgeon gives vivid pictures. He points out that Christians live in a world that is not their friend. Satan rages against those who belong to Christ, and the world often despises them. Trials come not only from outside enemies, but also from within, the temptations and sin of our own hearts. Yet, even then, God uses these difficulties to refine his children, much like metal is purified in fire. He reminds us that suffering is not endless despair, but preparation. Just as storms strengthen a tree's roots, so trials strengthen the believer's faith. The darker the night, the brighter the stars of God's promises shine. In every affliction, God balances the scales. On one side suffering, and on the other, equal or greater consolation. One of Spurgeon's most encouraging points is that troubles often bring us closer to God than times of ease. When life is comfortable, prayer can become cold and distant. But in the furnace of affliction, believers cling to God with desperation, and there they find his sweetest presence. God, in his wisdom, sometimes allows trials to tether us near him so that we do not stray. Finally, Spurgeon ends with focus on Christ himself. He reminds us that all consolation comes through Jesus. He is not only the one who saves us, but the one who walks with us in every trial. Our troubles may weigh heavily, but they are always accompanied by the consolations of Christ, who will never leave nor forsake his people. The sufferings are many, but the comfort is greater still. So, what do we take from this? Expect suffering, but never despair. For every tear shed in the name of Christ, there is comfort overflowing. When afflictions abound, consolation abounds more. In the end, the believer not only endures, but is strengthened, purified, and drawn nearer to Christ. May it remind us that while suffering is real, Christ's comfort is even more abundant. Thank you for joining us, and please like the video, subscribe, and share. God bless you all, and I hope to see you again.